Okay. Hi, Mr. Jensen. This is my submission for the civil rights podcast thing. So I am going to be doing the Van Garderen v. Montana case that's happening right now. And basically, what's going on is that transgender adolescents, their parents, and two medical providers who work with these transgender youth are challenging a Montana law that was just passed in 2023 that bans gender affirming care for trans youth. The plaintiffs charged the law with violating their rights under the Montana Constitution, including the right to equal protection, the right to access to the right to access medical care, and the right of parents to direct the upbringing of their children. Now, uh, Montana's Senate Bill 99, it's also known as the Youth Health Protection Act. It bans certain treatments to gender dysphoria and gender affirming care. It also prohibits the use of state funds to go towards these treatments and also effectively bans physicians from treating their clients. So basically, the plaintiffs claim, as previously stated, that the law is infringing on their rights granted by the Montana Constitution. Now, it's not the American Constitution because it's a state law and not a federal law. So, specifically in the Montana Constitution is in Article 2, Section 3, it states that all persons are born free and have certain inalienable rights. They include the right to a clean and healthful environment and the rights of pursuing life's basic necessities, enjoying and defending their lives and liberties, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and seeking their safety, health, and happiness in all lawful ways. In enjoying these rights, all persons recognize corresponding responsibilities. Now, one of the trans youth in this case, his name is Phoebe Cross, has been taking testosterone after experiencing anxiety, depression, and he's also attempted suicide due to his gender dysphoria. And he claims to have had this gender dysphoria since before he went through puberty. And he's also claimed that taking testosterone has made him feel much better about himself and, not making him feel like he wants to die all the time, which is pretty good for me. The defendants for the case, which is the state of Montana, is represented by attorneys from the Knudson's office. They presented an opposite view of this whole gender thing. They said that sex and reasonable medical interventions for minors diagnosed with gender dysphoria. Hang on, sorry, I'm reading my script wrong. We're just gonna skip over that part because I don't know what I did. But basically, Michael Russell, the Assistant Attorney General, said that by passing Senate Bill 99, the state was exercising its power to protect youth from medical decisions that may have lasting consequences, even if a person were to stop identifying as transgender. So basically, they want to stop minors like Phoebe Cross from making these life-altering decisions that could cause potential damage, which I do understand. And this case is significant because if the plaintiffs win, if Phoebe Cross and the other transgender youth supported by their parents and the medical providers do win, more people from the trans community can make the same case against other states and win cases there. Although, if the state wins, I think that would essentially shut down the trans rights movement in Montana, and could potentially have a nationwide effect, because whatever reason the state of Montana uses to win this case, other states could use that reason to justify them banning trans healthcare as well. Um, so basically, my opinion on this case is this. From what I've read, gender dysphoria is a serious mental illness, and people who suffer from gender dysphoria feel miserable. They feel like they're in the wrong body, and they feel like they should be in a different body, as in they feel like they should be the opposite gender or a different gender altogether. Not treating gender dysphoria can lead to severe depression and anxiety, which can lead to suicide. If we are trying to save lives here, which is the whole reason why healthcare exists, is to save lives and promote welfare among the people, we should allow minors to receive treatment for their gender dysphoria. Now, I'm not talking about gender reassignment surgery. Excuse my language, but I'm not talking about letting kids chop their penises off and having kids chop their breasts off. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is letting minors take hormones, which at least I think they're completely reversible through just critical thinking. I mean, say a girl transitions into a boy, right? And they take testosterone. I think it'd be reasonable if they just decided that they didn't want to do that anymore, to just take estrogen and just reverse the effects of the testosterone. Now, I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into that, but it just makes sense that that would work in my head, at least. I should probably do more research on that before I start spreading this information, but that just sounds reasonable to me. But to continue my argument, the usual counter argument to this is that people say that their brains aren't fully developed and they aren't able to think clearly. So they shouldn't be able to make these big decisions until they're like 21, when their brain is actually developed. But to me, that doesn't really make sense, because gender dysphoria is a mental illness. It's the same as depression, same as anxiety, and same as autism. Yet we still treat those without any questions asked. We give a depressed person antidepressants, and people with anxiety medications to help with their anxiety, and so on and so forth. So, to me, telling a person suffering from gender dysphoria that they are the sex they are assigned at birth is basically like telling a depressed person to just be happy. Like, that's insane. It's just bad advice. So yeah, that's my opinion on the matter. So basically, in conclusion, everybody should have the right to do what they want with their body, whether that be taking hormones, getting tattoos, getting piercings. In my opinion, the government has no right to govern our bodies. For my body is mine alone, and your body is yours alone. These kids should be able to feel comfortable in their own skin, and the government taking that away is inhumane. If hormone therapy does that, if it lets kids feel comfortable in their own skin, then let them take it.